What if I told you the next global pandemic won't just be some random act of nature, that it'll actually be a failure of our own imagination? Kind of stark, right? But what if we could actually imagine the future and do it with stunning accuracy? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how AI is changing the game, helping us move from just reacting to pandemics to actually seeing them coming and getting ready for them.
I mean, just think back to early 2020 for a second. Remember that feeling of just complete chaos? The sense that the world was spiraling and anything could happen next? That feeling, that's what it's like to be utterly unprepared. But what if we could trade all that chaos for clarity? What if we could replace that gnawing uncertainty with a real, concrete plan of action?
So, how do we do that? Well, the key, it turns out, is artificial intelligence. AI gives us this incredible power to bring some genuine order to the chaos through a remarkable technique called scenario modeling. And no, this isn't some crystal ball we're talking about. It's actually something far more powerful, a way to game out the future. Okay, so what is scenario modeling exactly? The best way to think of it is like a flight simulator, but for a pandemic. See, we're not asking AI to predict the one single future. No way. We're asking it to show us all the possible futures. We're basically asking, okay, if this happens, then what? And what about if this happens instead? It's really just like a weather forecast. Your weather app doesn't say it will rain. It says something like there's a 70% chance of rain, right? That's because meteorologists run a whole bunch of different simulations to see what's most likely. We're doing the exact same thing with pandemics, running the numbers to see what's coming, so we can be ready, not with an umbrella, but with vaccines and masks. So that's the big idea, but how does it all work in practice? Let's dive into the real-world toolkit that AI is providing to public health officials and see how they're using it right now to protect all of us.
AI is being used to tackle the absolute most critical questions during a pandemic. You know, how do we coordinate an entire national response? What is the best way to distribute vaccines? Where do we send our very limited supply of ventilators? And maybe the most important question of all, how do we spot the next threat before it's too late?
Take the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of relying on just one prediction, the Scenario Modeling Hub brought together dozens of different models. It's like asking a whole room full of experts for their opinion, instead of just listening to one person. The result? A much, much clearer picture of what was coming, which led to a way more coordinated response. A new vaccine is a miracle, for sure, but it's also a logistical nightmare. Who gets it first? The elderly? Frontline workers? AI helps us solve this huge life-or-death puzzle by simulating thousands of different rollout strategies to find the one that will crush the curve and save the most lives. We all remember those images of overflowing hospitals, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when you're constantly playing catch-up. Scenario modeling completely flips the script. It predicts where the next hotspot is going to be so we can send reinforcements before the battle even begins. But what if we could stop an outbreak before it even really starts? That's the incredible promise of AI-powered surveillance. It can scan billions of data points every single day. We're talking flight patterns, social media posts, even online searches for fever and cough, to find that one little needle in the haystack that signals the next big threat.
So we've got better coordination, smarter planning, and way faster detection. But what does all of this really add up to? It all boils down to one single game-changing advantage: speed.
Just look at the difference here. The old way of doing things meant we were always weeks, sometimes even months, behind the virus. By the time we knew what was happening, it was often too late. With AI, we can shrink that timeline from months all the way down to days. And in a pandemic, days are everything. And this isn't just about being more efficient. This is the difference between stamping out a spark and fighting a raging forest fire. It's the difference between a local outbreak and a global catastrophe. We're literally talking about the difference between life and death on a massive scale. What we're witnessing here is a revolution in public health. We are finally moving from a defensive crouch to an offensive strike. We are no longer just reacting to pandemics. We are hunting them. For centuries, we've been at the mercy of pandemics, always reacting, always losing ground. But now, for the first time in history, we actually have the tools to get ahead of the curve. We can see the storm coming and start building our defenses before the first drop of rain even falls. So, AI has given us something extraordinary, a map to a safer future. The paths are laid out right in front of us. The choice is ours. The only question left
is, will we have the wisdom and the will to follow it?
If you found this explainer valuable, help us spread the knowledge by hitting that like button and subscribing. And for more deep dives on the go, you can find the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. The link is right there in the description.
What should we explain next? Let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching The Explainer, where we make the complex clear.